That's a tougher question than when to buy. Originally, when I was working with tiny sums, I always had way more ideas than I had money. So I had a portfolio, very limited dollar amount, and I would find something that was more attractive, and which I felt I knew as much about, but was more attractive by a significant margin than something I held. So I would sell something I held to buy something more attractive, never to raise cash. And I was always selling things that were still cheap, because it was a market where there were a lot of things that were cheap, and I was looking for the cheapest among things that I understood. Over the years, as more and more capital has accumulated, for which I'm responsible, frequently money outruns ideas. I have more money than ideas. So now the only reason I would sell something would be if I lost confidence in the business or the management, or it became dramatically overpriced. And that doesn't happen very often. You work with large quantities of stock, so it's not an easy in and out type proposition. Looking back, you can say that there are some things that I should have sold based on valuation that I didn't sell. There's certainly some things where I made mistakes about the business, the future economics of the business. And there are a few cases where I made mistakes about the quality or integrity of the management. But those are the reasons why you sell something. If we, during the panic in the fall of 2008, I committed to buy. I was already committed to help the Mars family buy Wrigley. That was $6.5 billion. I bought the Goldman preferred for $5 billion, and then General Electric came along and they wanted $3 billion. I wasn't comfortable committing $3 billion more at that time. We had the money, but I like to leave a big margin of safety. So as part of that same transaction, I sold, I think, roughly $1.5 billion or so of Johnson & Johnson stock. I wasn't selling it because I thought there was anything wrong with Johnson & Johnson. I just felt that the General Electric preferred was more attractive, and I didn't want to leave myself in a position where I wasn't comfortable with the cash position that I would have had if I hadn't sold that. So that was a rare case where, even under current circumstances, I sold something that I regarded as still attractive, but to buy something even more attractive. That's not usually the case.